welcome all to Daytona International Speedway for season as we get ready to start season 21 of the Castrol GTX Cup Series, and we're gonna do something a little bit different this season. This season we're bringing back an event that we have not run in this series since season 2, believe it or not. And it's the running of the Busch Clash is what we're doing here to kick off Daytona Speed Weeks. And it's for the drivers, and it's for pulsers from last season who of course have signed back up, obviously. But it's for pulsers from last season, of which 12 of them signed back up, so therefore there are 12 drivers in this race here today. And so here's the 12 that's going to be getting set to run today at Daytona. On the pole, and number 2 is Dylan Young in the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. There it is. Miller Genuine Draft Ford, Pontiac, car number 2. Dylan Young is on the pole for today's event. Alongside of him is Cole Deaver in the GM Goodrich Chevrolet, car number 3. Just missed out on the championship last season, but looks for revenge this season. Row number 2 has William Brock in number 4 Kodak Film Chevrolet, and alongside of him, Johnny Gardner, number 7, the Hooters Ford. He'll be alongside. Row 3 is Jessica Shelton, number 11, the Budweiser Ford, and she'll be alongside Nicholas Wade in the Cornflakes Chevrolet, car number 14. Row number 4 has Preston Florida, number 18, the Interstate Battery Chevrolet, and Charles Sanford, number 24, DuPont Chevrolet. Row 5 has Keith Batson, car 28, Texaco Haviland Ford, and number 33, Ryan Brommer, surprise pulser last season at one of the Talladega races. He's in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet, car number 33. And starting shotgun into the season's Busch Clash is Kyle Matthews, number 42, the Miller Yellow Pontiac, the vending series champion, and he'll be flanked by Seth Cole in the Bojangles Ford, car number 98. So here's how the format's going to work for the Busch Clash this season. It'll be 2 10-lap segments is what this race is going to be. So all in all, it's going to be a 20-lap race. So it's pretty short. So it's going to be a pretty short race. But it's 2 10-lap segments. The first 10, obviously, you have a 10-lap race, and of course you'll have, the first segment's going to be 10 laps, and whoever wins the race is going to get a bit of a penalty. You win the first segment. Well, you start last in the second segment. So the second segment starting is going to be reverse order from finishing position, reverse order finishing positions from the first segment. So that is to say, of course, if you start last, if you finish last in the first segment, well, you get a bit of a break. You start from the pole. If you win the first segment, you start last. So it's basically going to be a reverse. It's going to be a reverse of the whole thing. It's going to be a reverse finishing on the first. Yeah, you get what I mean. But anyway, I have a hard time explaining everything. But that's how the Busch Clash is going to be. And so, with all that said, here's the man to fire the engines here at Daytona. And that's the command to fire the engines. There are 3 in-car cameras. Of course, they'll lie inside the cars. Dylan Young, who will be our pulser for the event, he has our first in-car. He has one of our in-car cameras in today's event. Our other one's going to lie in Cole Deaver's car, and our third camera will lie in Charles Sanford's car. So that's who's going to have our in-car cameras for today's event at Daytona: Dylan Young, Cole Deaver, and Charles Sanford. Here, so 12 drivers in this race here today. I think we had 15 pulsers last season, but 3 of them did not come back. So, and that would be among those 3, of course, that didn't come back were Joshua Collard and Levi McIntyre. McIntyre, of course, finished top 10 in the points last season. Excuse me, and I think Collard was out of the top 10 in points last season anyway. But those were 2 of the drivers that didn't come back for this season. So, therefore, that's why we have 12 drivers in this race here. So this is like an equivalent of an IROC field the International Racing Champions, where he had 12 drivers, of course, and equally prepared cars. But new look for this season. We have the Cup 91 is back for the season, and we are doing the 1993 car set. Is what we're doing here for this season. So you get a bit of a preview of what we have for the upcoming season. Of course, the Speedway, of course, leading up to the season 21 Daytona 500. But today it's the Busch Clash. It's two 10-lap segments. This is the first of the two 10 laps that we're going to be doing here today. 20-lap race overall. Dylan Young on the pole for his event here. He is one of the pole sitters from last season. Cole Deaver alongside, both of them, as we said, with in-car cameras. Green flag is out. And we are underway for season 21. These are CTS physics cars, obviously. So they will get up to speed very, very quickly. And watch the speed rise on these machines. 170, almost 180 miles an hour now. Off turn number 2, they'll do off turn number 2 at 184 miles an hour. So these cars accelerate very, very fast. William Brock jumps out in front, but here comes Jessica Shelton to the inside. Number 11, the 4-time series champion, as she takes the lead here through turns 3 and 4. Preston Plord goes to the second position now. Charles Samper is going to try for third position as they come off turn number 4. All 12 cars running right there together. Jessica Shelton leads the first lap of the Busch Clash. And out of all the top drivers in this series, she's got to be the most frustrated of all the drivers as far as play races are concerned. She's been second so many times, but never a win. She would love to change that in the Daytona 500, obviously, because she'd like to get that prize, if anything else. Charles Samper goes to the lead now. Here comes Keith Batson, 28 to the inside for second place, as he's got Kyle Matthews behind him in 42. And pole sitter Dylan Young hung out of the draft, as he and Johnny Gardner hooking up right there, trying to get their way back to the front. Second lap as they come across the start-finish line. Matthews now jumps out in front. Preston Plord looks inside in the 18 car. He's got Seth Cole behind him in 98. 33, Ryan Brommer, driving the Skull Bandit colors this season. He was in the Western Auto colors last season. On board, Cole Deaver's car, the roof cam on the GM Goodwrench Chevy. Getting by Preston Plord. Deaver up to third position now in the Goodwrench machine as they come off the fourth turn. And Brommer dumps the 14 car of Nicholas White as they come to the start-finish line. And Deaver will move inside. He'll take the lead through turns 1 and 2. And you are riding with it when it happened. That 3-car, plenty of history at Daytona as well as Talladega. As they come to the backstretch, Deaver would like to get a plate victory himself as well. He also has not yet won on the plate tracks in this series. Dylan Young, the pole sitter, looks inside. He's going to take the lead through turns 3 and 4 now. As you got the black cars, first, second, and third, the 2, the 28, and the 3. And Batson looks inside of Dylan Young for the lead. Young led the lap. And now Batson looks inside in 28. Here comes Shelton in the 11 car, the Budweiser machine. And it's Jessica Shelton jumping out in front, the woman who led the first lap of this event. William Brock in the 4 car looks inside now. Charles Samper helping him. Inside Charles Samper's car is in second position right now behind William Brock. Across the start finish line another time as they go into turn number 1 now, and Samper also has her back bumper cam. Looking right at Jessica Shelton's car. Kyle Matthews goes by Nicholas Wade in the 14 car. Looks like a new ride for him. He was in the Quaker State car last season. This season will be carried by Sky Commons. This season for the Cup Series. And Brock went down, almost taps the front nose of Seth Cole's car as they come off the 4th turn now. Coming by to complete the 6th lap of this event here. It'll be 4 laps to go in segment number 1. Nicholas Wade's gonna make a 3 wide in the tri-oval. And Nicholas Wade, the 14 car, takes the lead. He won the last time he was at Daytona, if you remember, the Pepsi 400 last season. Surprised everyone out of the rookies in this series. But Nicholas Wade is no rookie anymore now as they come down the backstretch here. Driving the number 14 car, that's the Billy Hagano machine. And here comes Seth Cole in 98, the Bojangles car. Off the 4th turn, and in the 2nd position now goes Ryan Brummer, Preston Plord, and Nicholas Wade side by side for 3rd position. 7 in the books and 3 to go in segment number 1. These cars very, very fast here, averaging so far over 194 miles per hour. The fastest lap of this race so far, turned in by Johnny Gardner at almost 199 miles per hour. And there he is in the number 7 Alan Quickie colors. And in the 3rd turn, Gardner looks inside of Plord for position. And they're going to go 3 wide here. Gardner, Plord, and Cole side by side. 3 wide, 3 rows deep. And make that 4 rows deep now. Looks like the start of the Indianapolis 500 here. 2 to go in segment number 1. Great race here. Gardner moves up the middle of the track. Here comes Keith Batson, 28. To the inside, he's got Kyle Matthews, Jessica Shelton, and Cole Deaver behind. Riding with Dylan Young in the 2 car. Caught in a sucker hole in the middle here. Looks inside of Preston Ward. It's going to be the white flag this time by Cole Deaver. To the inside of Young as they come to start finish line. The white flag waves. 1 to go. Shelton moves Matthews up the track. One more lap in segment number 1. And remember, the finishing order in this race is reversed for the start. Remember, the starting lineup for segment 2 is reverse order as the finishing positions in the 1st segment. In which right now Keith Batson has the lead for the moment. Here comes Shelton. Actually make that Charles Sanford to the inside. Sanford for the 24 car looks for 2nd place now as they come through the 3rd and 4th turns now. And to start finish line, checker flag waves here for segment number 1. Keith Batson will win segment number 1. Charles Sanford 2nd position. 3rd will go to Nicholas Wade. Then Jessica Shelton and Seth Cole, the top 5. In the 1st segment, then it'll be it's Kyle Matthews, Dylan Young, Cole Deaver, William Brock, Ryan Brommer, Johnny Gardner, and Preston Plord. That's the finishing order. So Preston Plord will be your pole setter for segment number 2. And here you see the finishing order for segment number 1. And so we'll be right back for segment number 2 when we come back after this. Back at Daytona International Speedway as the field has made their pit stops as we are getting set for segment number 2. And this will be a 10-lap dash to the checkers here today to complete the Busch Clash. So 10 laps are down, 10 laps are left to go. And that's how we are here today. Running order right now will be Preston Plord, the leader. 2nd position is Johnny Gardner. 3rd right now is Ryan Brommer. Then it's William Brock 4th. Then Cole Deaver and Dylan Young as row 3. 4th row have Kyle Matthews and Seth Cole. Row 5, Jessica Shelton and Nicholas Wade. And row 6 will have Charles Samper and the segment number 1 winner, Keith Batson. So that's how they will start for the second segment. Remember, it's reverse order from the finishing order in segment number 1. So pace car again makes that ducks off in the pit road as we are set to start segment number 2. And here's as we're set for the race to the finish in the Busch Clash. Preston Plord jumping out in front here as they go into turn number 1. Average speed in that first segment was over 195 miles per hour. So see how they come off the second turn here. Preston Plord out in front. Second position is Johnny Gardner as they come down the backstretch. Riding with Cole Deaver in the number 3 car. He's in third position right now behind Preston Plord and Ryan Brommer. A couple of green cars up in the front position. And now Deaver looks in the back bumper of the front bumper of Kyle Matthews' car, number 42. He's got Jessica Shelton shoving him in the 11. Here comes Seth Cole up to the middle of the pack here. Charles Samper and Keith Batson trying to work their way up to the field. That first lap in the first segment, over 180 miles per hour. So these cars very, very fast in CTS physics. The only tracks we are going to do Cup physics on, by the way, for this mod is the only track we're going to do the only track we're going to do the Cup physics on, I should say, is in Charlotte this season, because obviously the CTS physics on the 1994 Charlotte version are very, very slow. Sanford from 11th place up to the front in 2 laps here at Daytona. And here comes the man who's going to make it from last to first in 3 laps now. That's Keith Batson. He's got Johnny Gardner behind him, the 28 and the 7 out in front. And if you know the 1993 season, how somber the mood was for those 2 numbers, obviously, because of the passing, obviously, of Davey Allison and Alan Quickie that year. Into turn number 1, Batson out in front, just like we left it in the very first segment. Dylan Young to second position. William Brock now trying for third in the 4 car. Down backstretch, here comes Brock to the inside, number 4. Looking for the lead, Dylan Young says nuh-uh. And throws the block on him here. Pontiac in first, Chevy second, Ford in third, Chevy's fourth and fifth. At the moment, as they come off the 4th turn, they'll be coming out for now, down for 6 laps to go, 4 in the books. Speed's now bumping up to almost 200 miles an hour a lap now. Batson with a fast lap at 199.7 miles per hour as they come down the back stretch here. Dylan Young out in front. Brommer to second position. Here comes Plord. Nope, here comes Seth Cole to the inside for second place. Deaver and Matthews will go with him. In the meantime, Jessica Shelton stuck with no place to go here. She tries to get around Charles Sanford. And Seth Cole looks inside, and he'll lead that lap. 5 down, 5 to go in the race to the finish here in the Busch Clash. Here comes Deaver to the inside. Darn pace car. Down the backstretch they come here. Kyle Matthews in 42 looks inside, but Brock's going to try again for the lead. Remember the last time he had a block thrown on him, and this time with the help of Jessica Shelton, he makes the pass for the lead perfectly now as they come off the 4th turn. Brock with the lead, but here comes That red number 11, Jessica Shelton. Inside for the lead. Brock led the last time by. Off turn number 2, Jessica Shelton now out in front. Second is Johnny Gardner. Nicholas Wade, the man who shocked them all in the 400 last season here on this very same track, and also won the 125 qualifiers on this same track, I might add, last season. And not to mention also took home a victory in the second race at Charlotte. They get a look at the action from the Goodyear blimp here. And it's Johnny Gardner jumping out in front now. Shelton and Nicholas Wade both stuck in the high side. Dylan Young and Kyle Matthews, Keith Batson, and Charles Sanford forming an inside lane along with Cole Deaver in the 3 car. And up front now goes Kyle Matthews, car number 42. And up behind him comes number 42 backwards, 24, Charles Sanford. To the inside now, 2 laps to go. He pushes Matthews up the track here, riding with Charles Sanford, 24. And that lap first one clocked at over 200 miles per hour. And that was Charles Sanford who clicked off that lap, 200.143. It'll be the white flag next time by to decide the Busch Clash for season 21. Only the second time we've ever done this event there. It's been a dandy race so far. Cole Deaver out in front. Seth Cole in second position. Here comes Ryan Brommer. Could he surprise that 33 car? Could he surprise and pull them all off? Off the 4th turn they come. Seth Cole looks inside of Deaver now. White flag. Last lap in the Busch Clash. Here comes Ryan Brommer. Looks inside for the lead. He's gonna take it through turns 1 and 2. Now what's Batson and Plord gonna do? Off turn number 2. Here comes Batson to the inside. Keith Batson, car 28. The Texaco Haviland Ford jumps to the lead. He won segment number 1. Can he pull up the sweep? Through the 3rd and 4th turns they come. Preston Plord. He's not giving up that 18 cars. They come off the 4th turn now to the start-finish line. Plord's making no move at all. Start-finish line, Keith Batson wins the Busch Clash at Daytona. Keith Batson, car 28, the Texaco Haviland Ford, wins the second ever Busch Clash. And does it for season 21. The Texaco Haviland Ford, car number 28, the car of the late, great Davey Allison, goes to victory lane here today at Daytona. Second place will go to Preston Plord. 3rd to Nicholas Wade. 4th to Charles Sanford. 5th to Ryan Brommer. Going 6th will be Dylan Young. 7th place will go to Seth Cole. 8th to William Brock. 9th to Cole Deaver. 10th place will go to Jessica Shelton. Then Johnny Gardner, 11th, and unfortunately dead last, our defending series champion, Kyle Matthews, is the caboose on his train in the Busch Clash. So, but Keith Batson, a great drive for him, takes the win here today, averaging 196.731 in segment 2. I tell you what, the Daytona 500 is going to be anything like this here. This ought to be, it's going to be one exciting race. So that's it for the Busch Clash at Daytona. We'll see you in the Gatorade Twin 125s when we get to that event. And obviously, so yeah. So anyway, if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got NRS gaming videos whenever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole Irish Sports channel. And please be sure to check out our other NNSCRA series, such as the Coors Light Truck series, the Pizza Hut X series, the Hershey's Cup series, and the Last of Us Light series. Also, check out Michael Norman's Budweiser All Pro Series and Levi McIntyre's Marvel Studios Cup Series. All those series are part of the NSCRA as well. I'll guarantee all their races are going to be a whole lot better than what I have to offer, obviously, as well, myself. So, anyway. So, that's it for the Busch Clash. Congratulations again to Keith Batson, the winner of the Busch Clash in the Texaco Havoline car number 28. We will see you for the Gatorade Twin 125s. On this very same track, it's going to be a night race at Daytona as well. So, for now, it's James Colsman in production of the NSCRA. Offline racing at its best.
Greg, did you have any ignition problems?